pretty much at that level, and then reeled off a win at Prairie in his last start. So he's 5 for 6 for the year. So any race that you see Raymond in is probably a pretty good field. On to race 2. Second race, 1 mile and a 16th on the turf. This one is for fillies and mares 3 and up, but they are all older runners. No scratches at this time out of this one, and it's first level allowance.
And I'm taking the Deuce, Peak Earnings in this spot. You know, this horse was a winner last time out. That came in a $25,000 claiming race. 7.5 furlongs, so the horse did go around 2 turns out here for that one. But what I like is that the horse basically was in the front most of the way and ended up at the end winning by 5 3/4, so a pretty big margin of victory there. That was over a next out winner as well, who's also in this race.
Yeah.
Peak Earnings from that last race give me a lot to like about this horse. I think this one could get up for the win. I got Robertino Diodoro's other horse in here as my second choice, number 5, Platinum Diva. You know, this horse has been in some decent allowance races. It was running at Tampa, Turfway Park, Del Mar, Santa Anita before that, so it's been coming for some big tracks. Been competitive in those races. Hadn't been hitting the board, but has been up there toward the front of the entries that are in there. Platinum Diva, I think this 4-year-old filly coming here to Texas might have a decent run tonight. And then I got the number 1, Little Town Sis, as my third choice, coming in here off back-to-back wins. Both those wins were coming at 1 mile and a 16th, just like this race tonight. Although they weren't on the turf, this horse is 0 for 4 on the turf, has failed to hit the board. But Little Town Sis, I think she can get up and get it done tonight.
Steve Asmussen trained, is coming in sharp, but those races were back in April. But Asmussen did put a half-mile drill into her on both June 2nd and June 10th. You know, we're on the same top filly again, Peak Earnings. She loved the local turf when she ran here on May 4th. Has had a little bit of time off since. Last time out, vied in the 2-path and then just took over and won by clear open daylight. Keeps Vasquez. She seems to, really come to life on the turf. Has never run on a main track. She's been twice on Tapeta, 7 times on the turf, has both her wins on the grass. Ziti, I think, could run a nice race today. In Ziti's last race, she was pocketed in behind them and then had to angle out and closed hard at a winner, and maybe Dulcie. It was a little bit of a long shot, but won off a layoff for Carrie Craddock. And so I think Ziti is one that, she throws in the odd win here and there, and is 2 for 9 lifetime. And Platinum Diva, the only concern I have for her is really the distance. And normally I don't obsess about a 16th of a mile, but most of her success has been at a mile. Clearly loves the turf. All of her wins were at Tampa Bay, a pretty good circuit, kind of a circuit in and of itself to a degree. Not entirely, but Platinum Diva I picked couple of weeks ago when she was entered but scratched. I think that field was a little bit easier than this. That's the only reason I can think of why I got off her bandwagon. On to the third. All older $10,000 claimers contest this third race. Scratch the morning line favorite, number 1, Classic Moment, and scratch the 9, Take Action.
All right, so I'll take number 7, Enjoy It Straight. It looks like looking through the horses in here, there's going to be a lot of speed, a lot of horses out there in the front. Enjoy It Straight. This horse is a closer. There's no doubt about it. So I'm looking for this horse. There's going to be a lot of speed for this horse to close into. I think this horse is going to have a nice run when it's all said and done, and I'm picking this one as the winner here. Eric Asmussen rides for Steve Asmussen. You see this horse was in for $10,000 last time, won that race right here at Lone Star Park at 6.5. A little bit shorter here today, but you know what? I think Enjoy It Straight gets the job done. I got the number 8, My Good Boy, second. I was talking about speed. This is the one that's going to be right up there in the front. Ooh. I mean, if not, it's over for this horse, I would say.
Yeah.
But if you look at those last 4 races, I mean, he's been in front pretty much on all of them.
Yeah.
If not, he was up there within the neck of the leader of the race. We've seen some of those horses come in from New Mexico here to Texas and run well. This trainer's already got a couple wins from 6 starts.
He's had a really good year, too, not just here, but in New Mexico as well.
So not bad at all there. Stuart Elliott rides this horse.
Yeah.
We know that guy can win. So my good boys, this might be one to watch. And then I got the 2 Grapnel, another speed horse coming in second. He's coming in third. But I'm thinking is they're all going to get hooked up, have some blazing pace on the front end, and Enjoy It Straight's going to catch them all down the straightaway. So I got it 7, 8, and 2 here in the third.
Yeah, among the ones that don't have a lot of speed in this 6-furlong affair, the others don't seem to really close a lot except for Enjoy It Straight, who loves to close, and last time out put up a really eye-popping 81 buyer. I don't know if he can match that again today because that was super. But, a little over a year ago, like a year ago last spring and winter, he was putting up low to mid-80s buyers regularly out on the West Coast. So he might not be quite what he once was, but he sure woke up last time and ran a huge race. And if you're a fan of gallop outs, which I would never make a pick based on a gallop out, but I like to watch them. Enjoy It Straight's gallop out after that really nice come-from-behind win was superb last time. So he really was anxious to go. I've got my good boy second as well. I went and watched that last Sunray race. He didn't look all that impressive finishing, but he's won 4 in a row, super sharp. He's speedy. I'm going to give him a shot. The Elliott mount is very intriguing because Stewart rides for a variety of different trainers, but he and Martin Valdez Cabral don't have any statistical history together. So,
all right, maybe the first time is the best time for him.
Yeah. On to the 4th. Start of the pick 5, one-day carryover of $533 in the pick 5 today. 3-year-olds and up in this one. Scratch the 7, Magic Castle. Take some speed out of this race. This is a 6-furlong test. You can be in for $20,000. It's an optional claimer, or you could be a non-winner of 2, or you can be a non-winner of a race other than maiden claiming starter allowance.
So I've got number 2, Ducali.
Yeah.
Hey, almost got that right.
Or
my top
I think
choice here.
Travis Stone said Ducali, so we'll go with that.
Ducali. All right, we can go with that. 2 starts back, this horse was a winner. Came at the 6-furlong distance. That was at Oaklawn Park. If you look before that, this horse was in some solid allowance races. Churchill Downs, Kentucky Downs, Ellis Park. Had a start at Aqueduct, a couple at Keeneland. I think this horse could run well. It was claimed by Steve Asmussen after that win from that Oaklawn race that I mentioned on the 6th of April. Came back in a starter race, finished 5th in that one out of 10. This horse has run into trouble a couple times. It says it was shuffled in that last race. So hopefully with a better trip, I think Ducal can win this race. Give me the 2 on top over American Outlaw, the number 1. Came close to picking up a win last time out, just missed by a head in that one. Was a winner 3-back that was in a $25,000 claiming race right here at Lone Star Park at the 6-furlong distance. So I like that. And then I got number 3, Nick's Story, as my third choice. This is a horse that I wish I would have picked last time. I didn't even have him in the top 4, I don't think. And, he looked nice winning that race. Got stronger as the race went longer and ended up winning by 3 1/4 in that one. Had a solid second before that. Both of those races are the only 2 starts here on our track, but ran well in both of them. This horse has finished in the money 4 of 8 for the distance, so 50% in the money at the distance. I got to have Nick's Story up there in my top 3, and I wouldn't be surprised maybe this horse wins it even.
Yeah. I took him second. I've been on this guy's bandwagon for a while. I think I picked him, you know what, I don't think I did 2 races ago. I think I was on Axton, but I had him second 2 races ago. Fresh off a race at Oaklawn where he just fell over. He was running, kind of mid-pack, and he just fell. Got back up, walked off the racetrack, and then they worked him very vigorously, probably to make sure he was okay, and then he came out and ran a nice June 1st race. Followed that up. I picked him on that June 14th day, and he won like a good thing. So I'm gonna take him second here because I really like American Outlaw in this spot. He loves the dirt sprint. Last time out, he was only beaten ahead by Classic Moment, and Classic Moment's had a couple of super high fig races here this meet. He's been really good. He's scratched out of an earlier race today, but he was really sharp earlier this meet. And, that turf race that he was in was a really good field, better field than this on turf, which is not really his specialty. So I'm taking American Outlaw. The thing about Ducali that you should know, and it shouldn't deter you if you like his form, because if he's not right, he's not going to run, so he's clearly right. But he was entered on June 1st in a race, got all the way through the saddling process, and actually I think they legged up the rider and then they scratched him. The vet scratched him. So the vet didn't like something about him as he was going around the ring here on June 1st. One thing to just keep in mind. Doesn't have any effect on today's racing, but they did try to run him that day, and he was going to be the favorite, and they took him out. So on to the 5th. All older here, $30,000 optional claimer, or you could be a non-winner of 3 lifetime or a non-winner of 2 races other than those maiden claiming starter or state-bred allowance. Scratch the 2, Optimus Cat. Scratch the 10, Busy Channel. 7.5 on the turf.
So I've got number 6 as my top choice, Chrome Baby. This horse back-to-back third-place finishes right here over our track as of late. Both of those came on the main track at the 1 mile distance. So going over to the turf today, but the horse has had some success on the turf. 3 wins out of 7 outs. I mean, this horse has 9 lifetime wins. I think Chrome Baby gets the job done. I like this one tonight. Number 4, Savaco. That's going to be my second choice here. This horse was a winner 2 back. I liked that win that this horse had 2 back. That came on the main track, although it was a sloppy track that day. Last time out, went to the turf, just like we're running today on the grass. That race was a little bit longer. Savaco finished 3rd in that one. The first 2 horses were way out there in front. Or the first horse was
Ocelot just crawled out of his skin and exploded the last, 1/8 of a mile, 1/16 of a mile to blow them all off.
And I like Savaco. If you look back, I mean, this horse ran against Optimus Cat a couple times. Or was beaten by Optimus Cat, who scratched out of this one. And I actually wanted to take Optimus Cat. So, I don't know. I'll take Savaco here. And then I got number 12, a little bit of a long shot here. 15-1 on the morning line. If you can count out that last race where it looks like Sonic Posse just got tired and finished well in the back. But before that, I mean, this horse showed some speed in every race, or the last few that I have in my book here, dating back to Remington Park. Most of those races came on the grass. I mean, this horse put together 3 grass wins out of 4 grass races. So not bad at all there. Big odds on this one. David Cabrera aboard. I think the 12, if you're looking for a horse to roll the dice on, take a look at Sonic Posse here in race number 5.
Yeah. Since he stretched out from or since he went to the turf at least, he's really discovered his speed, and since he stretched out from sprints. Another long shot to keep in mind is Zia Zapper, number 11. Last time out, broke quite slowly and made a huge, nice rally in an off-the-turf race behind Savaco, who is my top choice in here. It was an off-the-turf race. Those can sometimes be a little fluky, a little hard to gauge, because a bunch of scratches sometimes come out of those. But if you look at Zia Zapper on February 21st at Sunland, you'll see that he was a really nice winner that day, and a claim on him was voided. And I always like to look up the reason for that. Usually it's because they don't pass the vet check at the end of the race. In this case, it was administrative. So that could be anything.
Left
claim
the date
slip,
off the slip.
right,
Yeah.
Misspelling on the claim slip, whatever. So it wasn't a health issue. So Zia Zapper could be good, but Savaco is really in good form right now. You see that third beaten 6 lengths, but much of that was Ocelot just drawing off in the late stages of that race. This horse was claimed 4 times in a row last fall and into the winter for anywhere from 15 to about $15,000 most of the time. One time for 30.
In zone athletics too. So Carl's been grabbing this horse back. So
right,
must like
and that's a good
one.
sign. Yeah. So, and he's in good form. So I took Savaco on top. Chrome Baby is going to be tough. And note the Francisco Arrieta, who's in town to ride tomorrow, one of the area's best riders for sure at Oaklawn, Kentucky, and wherever, gets them out. On to the 6th. Race 6, Texas Breds, $5,000 claimers, non-winners of 2 life. They're going 5.5 furlongs.
Yeah, so I'm going to be on number 7, Chasing the Rush here in race number 6. This horse is one that likes to get out there in the front, and when he gets out there in the front, has a pretty good run. I mean, last time out was up there toward the front in a $7,500 race. and ended up third in that one, but that was at 6 furlongs, so going to shorten up a little bit. The race before that came at this 5.5 furlong distance right here on April the 20th. Led it from gate to wire in that race. Won it. I think Chasing the Rush puts together another nice one here today in for $5,000. I think this horse is going to run big tonight. Number 1, Berry Mischievous is my second choice. Horse has taken a large drop in class. I mean, if you look, this horse was in for $20,000 last time, in for $5,000 today. Was well beaten in both those races, but did break his maiden out here on April the 18th.
Yeah.
So a reasonable, close maiden win, just 3 starts back. You know, you always got to take a look at that. Very Mischievous. This horse could have a nice one. And then I got number 2, Competitive Shock, as my third choice. You know, if you look back, this horse was in a couple stakes races. Was in the Stallion Stakes last year right here at Lone Star Park. Ran third in that one. Not bad at all. I mean, the winner of that one just blew him out, but you know, that was almost a year ago. But the horse was in the Jim's Orbit earlier this year in February at Sam Houston. Ran up the track in that one, but still they thought enough about this horse to enter him in that race, I would imagine. We'll see if Competitive Shock can't have a little bit better finish tonight. 15-1 morning line. I'm just kind of rolling the dice on this one, hoping for a shot to get up there and finish out my try.
I'm going to go with the favorite in here on the inside, Berry Mischievous. Last 2 starts, one was, as you mentioned, against $20,000 non-twos. That's a massively higher level than this bottom level, 5,000. And was 3-1 though, so they considered him live in the betting, and he was well beaten. Ran last actually. Race before that was in non-winners of 2 Allowance Company. He was 5-1 in that race, and ran 6 out of 7 beaten double digits. So clearly overmatched, although not on the tote board. Race before that was a win and a Beyer fig that would beat all these guys if he runs back to that maiden win. Now that remains to be seen, but I think getting back to this level of competition is going to help him. Too much long legs, one to consider on the outside. He broke his maiden last time out by a widening 6 3/4. And it was at a bottom level for Texas breds, $5,000 maiden claimers. But it was just his second race back after a year on the sidelines, and was just absolutely unchallenged in that race. He could be sharp enough to run decently back in just a couple of weeks. So, on to the 7th. Race 7. These are fillies and mares written for 3-year-olds and up, and that is who is in here. $7,500 the tag. Non-winners of 2 life. There's one scratch, number 11, Millie G. They will go 6.5 furlongs.
So give me number 9, Princess Matoli here. What I like about this horse is the horse is making a drop. A lot of changes from that last race. Last race was in on the turf. Was in for $20,000 in that race. Did not go well for Princess Matoli. Ended up 9th in that race out of 10 horses. Just didn't have it that day. But now this horse drops down in here for $7,500. Gets back to the main track where this horse does have its only win. His only win did come right here at Lone Star Park. That was 2 starts back. You can see this horse blew him away. Won by 8 3/4 in that one. I've been watching this horse since that win and hoping for another one. I think this is where this 4-year-old can pick up another W, is right here in race number 7 tonight. I got number 10. This is a long shot. 30-1 on the morning line. Allegro
di Molto.
Allegro di Molto sounds Italian or something.
Yeah, it has to do with music
speed.
Tempos.
Allegro, I know, is fast or something like that.
Yeah, the thing about her, she looked very good winning last time. Rick picked her at 5-1, but if you follow the Beyer scale, she only drew a 29 Beyer, which is super low.
Yeah, that's pretty low, right?
But you know, she ran down that field and looked decent doing.
Yeah, and I mean, that was a maiden claiming for $7,500, in for $7,500 tonight. Facing winners right here for the first time, but did pick up that win last time. I liked how this horse closed in that last race. That was a sprint just like this one, so let's see if he can't get a long shot home here. Yeah. And then number 6, Isa Blast is going to be my third choice. Another horse that's taken quite a drop in class here. Was in for $15,000 last time. Cutting that price in half to $7,500 tonight. But this horse did post a bullet workout back on the 20th of June. 1 of 50 on the morning, so the horse was blazing that day. We'll see if this horse can't get up there for a good finish here in race 7.
I'm guessing that Rick Lee either saw that work or heard about it, because he's picked Isa Blast on top. This filly also has changed barns from her last race. and turns back from 2 turns to 6.5 furlongs. So that combined with a drop back to a more friendly level, she figures in there. I'm going with Just a Sip. Again, I seem to be a little chalky today. Just a Sip's a morning line favorite. Last time out, earned a 61 Beyer Fig, which, if she is able to run that back, only Princess Matoli in this field has run a 61 in their entire careers. And Princess Matoli did it here on May 10th, breaking her maiden. But Just a Sip has a lot of speed. She burned some money last time, running second when an even money favorite. And I think she and Princess Matoli are pretty evenly matched. I just think Just a Sip might be in front of her coming through the stretch, for a while at least. And so at this level, I just as soon have the lead. So a tenuous pick, but I'm going to try her over Princess Matoli. But, it's not my most enthusiastic pick. I hate taking favorites at that level, but 8th race, the final race on today's card, 7.5 on the grass. This is a high 5 race, the carry over $2,670. No scratches out of the 8th. Fillies and mares 3 and up. I think this is a good race. There's several of them I think that could win this one.
Yeah, a lot of different ways that you can go. I ended up on the 3, Missing You Crazy. This horse the last 2 races has been running basically these same conditions, right? $25,000, non-winners of 3, and was respectable finishes in both those. Last time just missed by half a length. The time before that was a 3rd place finish. Hopefully this horse can get the job done today, staying on the turf, has a lot of experience on the turf. I think Missing You Crazy can be the winner here in the nightcap. Number 10, Aranetti, is going to be my second choice here. Last time out, this horse ran for this $20,000 tag, ran well in that, finishing 4th, beaten by 3.5 out of a field of 12, so not so bad there. That one was longer at 1 mile and 1/16, so going to shorten up to 7.5 today. Give me the 10. And then I got Affair, number 5, coming in here off of back-to-back wins. I think this horse, I like horses that are moving in the right direction, 2 wins in a row. I like that. We'll see if this horse can't hold on for a gate-to-wire win, which I'm guessing this horse will be out in front. We'll see if Affair can't get it done. But I got it 3, 10, and 5 in the nightcap.
I took Affair on top, even though she has brought rain the last 2 times she's run. I mean, 2 races back, the track was dry, but the turf had been deemed unplayable from rain earlier in the week. It was one of those rainy weeks. So she won on a fast track here from a little bit off the pace, rallying. Then she just wired the field on the slop on Memorial Day and just dusted them. So she is in really good form. Now she goes to the turf where she has just 1 race. It was at Santa Anita. It was on their day after Christmas annual opening day card in 23, and she was slightly favored in that race, had a lot of trouble. Forced way out, had a super wide trip, and wound up running 11th out of 12. So I don't think you can judge her turf ability based strictly on that. She is normally forwardly placed, but she's proven she can sit off of it, at least on dirt and rally. I'm going to take her in this spot, hoping for a little bit of a price. Missing You Crazy is one that, has had a nice career. She just tends to space those wins out a little bit, but, she hasn't won since March of 24, so she's had a bunch of good finishes since. It might be her time.
Yeah,
might be due. Yeah, exactly. Araniti's another one. I picked her on top 2 races ago. I picked her second last time. She's favored every time they lead her over just about. And she's only won that very first race here in Lone Star on May 4th of last year. Hasn't raced a lot. Tends to run second. We'll see. But I think those 3 are kind of, now Rick's long shot of the day is calling for dollars for Cameron Milligan in that 8th race. Just to touch on her, she comes out of the Missing You Crazy race, dropped way back, double digits off the lead in that one at 20-1, and did rally, keeps Cabrera. So, she's one that frequently Rick's long shot picks are really live, and sometimes they get bet down a little bit off the morning line because of that, because he can scope out some of those live long shots. So I didn't really care for her in there, but figured we'd mention that.
Might
All
as
right. Well, looking forward to tonight's card. After the first couple races, we have almost zero common top picks. That always makes for an interesting competitive night of racing usually. So thanks as always, and thank you for looking in. And we are 34 minutes to post. Good luck on your Friday.
In the event of an emergency, Lone Star Park is dedicated to ensuring the safety of our patrons. This video illustrates the proper evacuation protocol from all public locations in the Lone Star Park Grandstand facility. Depending on the nature of the emergency, directions may be altered. Please remain calm and follow the direction of Lone Star Park employees and security personnel. Patrons should never use elevators during an evacuation. Suite levels 5 and 6 have 3 stairwells that patrons should use to exit the building. 2 stairwells on either far end of the building and 1 next to the elevators. Look for the nearest exit sign, follow stairwell signage, and exit the building at track level. Silks Dining has 5 stairwells that patrons should use to exit the building. 2 stairwells on either far end of the building that are accessible through either the Jockey Club or Paddock Lounge, and 3 centrally located stairwells near the elevators, escalators, and buffet. Look for the nearest exit sign, follow stairwell signage, and exit the building at track level. Level 2 has 5 stairwells that patrons should use to exit the building. 2 on either far end of the building that are accessible through the Alishiba room and in front of the far west side bathrooms, and 3 centrally located stairwells near the elevators, mustards, and feed sack. Look for the nearest exit sign, follow stairwell signage, and exit the building at track level. The track level has 2 main exits on either side of the grandstand that patrons should use to exit the building. Near the west and east escalators. Follow signage and exit the building. Remember to always exit towards the paddock and never towards the track. If severe weather occurs and shelter in place is issued, all patrons will take shelter on the basement level. The grandstand has 2 stairwells on either far end of the building that extend to all floors. Calmly head towards whichever end of the building is closest to you. Look for an exit sign and walk down the stairs following all signage and security staff instructions to shelter in the basement level.
Lone Star Park at Grand Prairie, your exclusive home for betting in North Texas.
On the outside, sweeping to the lead.
Join us for Dollar Day on Saturday, June 28th, when admission, programs, hot dogs, popcorn, soft drinks, and beer are all just $1 each. Visit LoneStarPark.com/tickets to make your plans today.
The horses are ready. Are you?
DFW's most unique dining experience is at Lone Star Park, and it's called Silks, featuring tiered panoramic views overlooking the racetrack, betting from the convenience of your table, and so much more. Tickets are on sale now for the thoroughbred racing season.
Hey you, yeah you, sitting and watching the races. Where's your swag? You don't got none. How can you even call yourself a true fan without the genuine article, Lone Star Park swag? I don't think so. Why don't you go mosey on down to the corral on the first floor? They got something for everyone. Gifts, garments, and plenty of other stuff to take a gander at. Now if that don't put a bee in your bonnet, nothing will. Still plenty of time to check out the corral. What you waiting for?
Lone Star Park at Grand Prairie, your exclusive home for betting in North Texas.
Right there down on the inside, coming to the wire.
Join us for DFW's biggest fireworks celebration this July 3rd and July 4th. We'll have live racing, music, family fun activities, and a 20-minute fireworks show choreographed to music.
The horses are ready, are you?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lone Star Park at Grand Prairie. It's time for an 8-race Friday on a firm turf course and a fast main track. First race in 28 minutes. At this time, if you're able, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps as Gemma Murray performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Gemma Murray.
Horses are ready. Are you?